melting and freezing, okay, in this chapter. So the change from solid to liquid by absorbing heat. How will solid convert to liquid? It will absorb heat and then it will convert to liquid. So that is called melting. And when liquid has to go back to the solid phase, okay, then that it will liberate the heat, okay, so that is called freezing. And then what is vaporization? Boiling, change from liquid to gas, okay. So now when liquid again converts to gas, what is going to happen? It is going to absorb the heat at constant temperature, okay. So that is called vaporization. And the reverse, the change from vapor to liquid on liberation of heat, okay. So vapor will convert to liquid and it will liberate the heat at constant temperature. So that is called vaporization. So you have to, there is no definition given for sublimation or anything, because as I said, we are not concentrating on that. So concentrate on melting, okay, freezing and vaporization. Yes.
But like, shouldn't the change from vapor to liquid be condensation?
Where?
The second box, the change from vapor to liquid, phase on liberation.
Yeah, it is condensation. Yeah, it is condensation. Sorry, not vapor. I just copied. It is condensation. Okay, fine. Now we go ahead. Melting and absorption. Now, children, please pay attention. This is very important. Okay. When ice converts to water, see, just look on the top of the arrow, right? Let us look at the top of the arrow. Ice is converting to water. So what do we call it? Melting, right? And it is going to absorb heat. Try to understand, very important. Okay, very important. It is going to absorb heat. Only because it is going to absorb heat, it is going to melt. Okay. Now it is very important that when ice is at 0 degrees, ice is at 0 degrees, okay, it will start melting. It converts to water. When it converts to water, the temperature, as soon as it gets converted to water, the temperature of water will also be 0 degrees only, as soon as it converts to water. After that, okay, the temperature may rise. Okay, this has to be kept in mind because you are going to do sums. You are going to do many numericals where you will be totally confused. So remember, when ice is at 0 degrees, okay, you are supplying heat, it will convert to water, right? But that water will also be at 0 degrees. After that, when you supply more heat, okay, then the temperature of ice will go on rising, of water will go on rising. Similarly, let us say I have got water at 20 degrees Celsius. Now I start cooling the water. The water temperature starts coming down, down, down. It has come to 0 degrees. Okay. After 0 degrees, it has to convert to ice. Okay. So slowly I'm bringing the temperature down. It will convert to ice. So after it comes to 0 degrees, it will convert to ice. But when it is converted to ice, okay, at that moment, the temperature of ice will also be 0 degrees. Okay. And in this case, there will be liberation of heat. Okay. In the first case, ice to water, there was absorption of heat, right? In water to ice, freezing. So the heat is going to be liberated out. There will be liberation of heat, right? Now let's go ahead. Now, before we go ahead, okay, I'll just explain one experiment to you. Okay. Let us say that I have a beaker and I have got some ice, crushed ice in the beaker, right? I keep a thermometer in the beaker and I supply, before I supply heat, I see the temperature. So the temperature is, let us say, minus 5 degrees Celsius. Everyone is there? All videos are on? All the videos have to be on. Sid, I will mark you absent. Sid, answer me, Sid.
Ma'am, I'm searching for my glasses.
Yeah, okay, fine. Please,
Mama, charging is only 5%.
So why didn't you charge it before the class? See, you have a geography class after this. Please, you have to be well behaved. Huh? All the videos have to be on.
Yes.
Mom? Mom.
Okay. So now I take some ice, okay, and I keep a thermometer in the ice. Now this ice is at -5 degrees Celsius, right? Now I start heating. When I start heating with a burner from down below, okay, I keep it on a gauze, okay, I keep it on a tripod stand, right? And I start heating it from down. I find that the temperature in the thermometer starts increasing. It starts from -5, becomes -4, -3, -1, and 0. Okay, so the temperature in the thermometer starts increasing and it comes to 0 degrees Celsius, right? Now, after it comes to 0 degrees Celsius, right, I keep on supplying heat from down. When I'm supplying heat from down, I find to my surprise that the temperature in the thermometer is not increasing. Okay, though I am supplying heat, okay, the temperature in the thermometer is constant. I keep on supplying heat, and then after some time, I find that now the temperature in the thermometer has started rising. So my question is, what happened in that time interval when I was supplying heat and the temperature did not change at all? Yes, Dhruv.
Ma'am, like the water, the ice water, it's absorbing heat, so like the temperature is not increasing, and after like absorbing some amount of heat, it converts, like changes its state, and then again the temperature starts
Okay,
changing.
correct. So what is happening is when the ice was at -5 degrees and I was supplying temperature, I could see the rise in temperature. But the minute it came to 0 degrees, okay, after that, when I kept supplying the temperature, I could not see any rise in the temperature for some period of time. Okay, so what happens in that phase? The temperature is being taken, right, by ice. Ice is absorbing the heat, but there is a particular process that is going on which is called change of phase. Okay, so the ice is converting to water, so this heat is being utilized for the change of phase, and because it is being utilized for the change of phase, I do not see any rise in temperature of the contents at that particular moment, right? So after the entire ice has converted to water, again I said, after the when the ice is converting, when it converts to water, the first temperature of water will be 0 degrees only. Ice is at 0 degrees, and the minute the entire ice starts getting converted to water, the temperature will be at 0 degrees only. And then on further supply of temperature, then the temperature will start rising slowly, and you will see that temperature. So this heat, okay, this heat that gets absorbed, that is called a hidden heat, because I cannot see that heat, right? And it has a special name, it is called latent heat. And because ice is converting to water, it is called latent heat of fusion. Okay, fine. So we'll see further. Now, let us now see, you all are asked the main thing, very important. You all are asked this question in the board exam to draw the graphs. Okay, the heating curve. The heating curve graphs are asked to be drawn. Right. So let us see. Okay. Now, over here, there is a graph that is there. Okay. Now here, they are asking you a question that, see, the question is like this: a certain quantity of heat, okay, a certain quantity of ice at 0 degrees is heated, okay, till it changes, and it changes into steam at 100 degrees Celsius. Draw a temperature time curve to represent this and label the phase changes. Okay, so temperature time curve means you have to draw a graph where you will take temperature on the y-axis, you will take temperature on the y-axis, you take time on the x-axis, right? Now that ice is said to be at 0 degrees. Okay, now here, okay, you have to mark the temperatures. You can start from 0, they have not marked you, but they have completed at 100. So 0 to 100, this is the temperature, and this is the time interval that is shown, right? Now, how do you start the graph? When you start the graph, like just now I said that initially ice is at 0, so when I supply heat, there is absolutely no rise in the temperature. So because there is no rise in the temperature, this is the part of the graph where the time is increasing, but the temperature, see, there is no rise in temperature. Can you see the temperature is at 0 degrees? Oh God, 1 minute. So can you see the temperature is at 0 degrees? The temperature is not increasing. Okay. OA, there is no change in temperature. Then at A, okay, now the entire ice is converted to water. From A to B, there is a steady rise in temperature. Slowly, slowly, the temperature starts increasing. Okay. After that, it reaches B. Now, B is at 100 degrees Celsius. Again, what is going to happen? Again, you will see that after it reaches 100 degrees Celsius, okay, if I have a thermometer that has been put in the water, I see that the temperature keeps on rising, okay. After 100 degrees, again, that rising temperature will stop for some time. For some time, I will not see any rise in temperature. And after that, I will see that the temperature starts rising. Now, again, what has happened at 100 degrees Celsius? Again, there is a change of state, right? So from liquid state, it is going into the gaseous state. So there is a change of state. So whenever there is a change of state, okay, the temperature will stop rising, and that heat that has been input will be used to convert from one phase to other. So the graph, as you can see, children, very simple. Again, I am saying, what is the question? That there is a certain quantity of ice at 0 degrees. It is heated, right, till it changes into steam. So how do you do it? First, you draw a graph, temperature on the y-axis, time on the x-axis. Okay. This is very important. OA is very important. You have to draw horizontal. You have to draw a horizontal line. You have to show that the temperature is not increasing at all. Then AB, you can label it as rise in temperature of water. OA, ice melts. You can just write the phenomena melting. The phase is melting. Okay, so you can write melting. Then AB, you can label that part as rise in temperature of water. Okay, and again BC, you can write, that is again a change of phase. You can write vaporization. Very simple. Directly you can get marks. Okay, these are called the heating curves. Okay, so how the ice is melting and forming water. Anybody has any doubts? Please ask. Anybody has any doubts? It's a simple one. Okay, these graphs are given in your book also, and easily you can get marks. Right now, I will show you another one.
Switch off my camera for 1 minute, ma'am.
Yeah, for one you can switch off, and then come back again.
Yes.
Now, second one, I will show you a second one. And see, this is the first one where you are asked to draw. Second one, they can ask you to identify. Okay. So now I will show you the second graph. What kind of questions are asked in the board exam? Now here, this is the second one. Okay. They are asking you that a piece of ice is heated at a constant rate and the variation of heat is shown. They show you this. Okay. Then they will ask you to label. They will ask you label the parts. You can say OA, label all the parts. Okay. So let us say over here, this is O. This starting point is O. Label OA, AB, BC, CD, and DE. Okay. So 5 parts they may ask you to label. Okay. And some definition may be asked, and this can become a 4 marks question, right? So here already the curve is drawn for you, and you just have to label the parts. Now the first part, okay, this part, can you see on the screen? This part OA, this part. Now this part, what will you write? You just write increase in the temperature of ice. Can you see that ice is at minus 10 degrees Celsius? You are supplying heat. Okay, when you are supplying heat, the temperature of ice is rising. Okay. So what is this part? The first part of the graph, okay, from the origin to A, it is called increase in the temperature of ice. So you just write there. Easily you can get marks, children. It's very easy. Heating curve of ice. OA, increase in the temperature of ice. Then what is AB? AB, you can write melting, change of phase. Yeah, very good. AB, melting of ice. And it has to be a horizontal line. It is a horizontal line. So AB, horizontal line, so melting of ice. Okay. BC. Mariam, can you tell me what will I name BC?
Ma'am, increase in temperature of water.
Very good, excellent. So BC will be increase in temperature of water, because at B the entire ice has converted to water. So BC will be increase in temperature of water. Now I come to CD. Who will tell me? CD.
Boiling point of water.
Yes,
Boiling of
Melissa.
water.
1 minute.
Bo-
Only Melissa.
Boiling point of water.
Boiling. Don't say boiling point, just say boiling or vaporization. You are going to name the phenomena. You're not going to say boiling point. What phenomena is taking place over there at CD? Okay. So the phenomena that is taking place is boiling or vaporization. Use vaporization, children. Now you're in 10th standard, right? Don't use boiling. That is used by the 6th standard children. Okay. We will say vaporization. So that part CD, you write as vaporization. Okay. Now that part DE. Okay, now CD, what is happening? The entire water is getting slowly converted to
Vapor.
steam, vapor. And you can see DE, increase in the temperature of steam, right? So, yes, Akshar, ask.
Answer would
Yes.
be yes. Increase in temperature of water vapor.
Yeah, water vapor, very good. Or steam, you can say steam, okay, better thing. Okay, both are correct, no problem. Increase in temperature of steam. So, children, have you followed the heating curve? Right? These questions are asked in the group B. Okay, they give you a curve. Either they will ask you to draw the curve or they will ask you to label the heating curve. Okay, and it's all ice. Okay, they don't much ask for vaporization. In ice only, the vaporization heating curve will also be asked. Any question on this? Please ask me just now.
Ma'am, can I turn off my camera for a minute?
Why? What happened, Aditya?
I have to go get something.
No, don't. Now remain here only. Just let me complete this this part after that. Okay, so this is the heating curve of ice. Everyone followed this? Anybody has any doubts for this? Okay, let me take one more example. Another heating curve, right? Now look at this. Temperature on the y-axis, time on the x-axis. Okay, ice is at minus 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, so OA is the rise in temperature of ice. Okay, right? Then after that, AB, change of state. See, they have labeled very nicely. Change of state, melting. You can also label it like this, melting, right? Then BC, continuous rise in temperature of water. CD, change of state, vaporization. And DE can be rise in the temperature of steam. Now, children, one thing I want to ask, AB line is drawn short and CD line is little long. Okay, so what do I understand by this? AB line is little short, but the line CD is little longer than AB. So what can, yes, who can tell me? What do I infer from this? Yes, who will that tell me?
Ma'am.
Who will tell me? Okay, who will tell me? Who wants to tell yet? Mariam, you tell me. Come on, quickly. Mariam.
Ma'am, I think it means that melting is faster than vaporization.
Yes. Okay. So it means that the amount of heat, okay, required to melt is little less. Okay. But if the water has to become vapor, from water, if you want, it has to become vapor, it takes longer time. Okay. It requires more amount of heat. Okay. So that is why it takes longer time to become, to convert from the water state to the vapor state. Okay. Follow this. So these are the heat curves. Okay. Heating curves. I hope you should, yes, ask Akshat. Who wants to ask? Please ask, yes. Let me see who is
Isn't
raised
it
the
something
hand.
like after like above 4 degrees the volume of water increases?
Above 4 degrees. But Dhruv, here we are only having temperature and time. We do not have volume anywhere. Okay, so we are not talking of volume. When in the later part of the chapter, there is going to be a thing, effect of heating on volume and effect of melting on volume. Okay, that is the time. Okay, that is the time you will come to know. Here we are just talking of the temperature and how much time is required. So we are not talking about, you're talking of the anomalous expansion of water, right, Dhruv? Dhruv?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are not talking of volume. So here there is no need to mention the anomalous expansion of water. Yes, who wants to?
Ma'am, but couldn't it be like the water vapor line is more because of the volume?
No. See, anomalous expansion of water happens during the melting phase, not during vaporization. Where is it? It's only between 0 to 4, right? Not at 100 degrees Celsius, right? So it's not related with anomalous expansion of water. It's just that the latent heat of fusion, when you come to that latent heat of fusion, that is much lesser than the latent heat of vaporization. That is the only answer. Okay, Dhruv? Yes. Yes, Aditya.
So in this graph,
Hmm.
CD has more latent heat than AB.
Yes, it requires more heat to convert from water to steam than to convert from ice to water. Are you getting my point? CD means it is taking more amount of time, so it's absorbing more heat to convert from water to steam. So the latent heat of vaporization is more than the latent heat of fusion of ice. Yes, who wants to ask? Anybody else?
So the heat remains constant.
Heat will remain constant. No, the change in temperature will remain constant. Aditya, the change in temperature will remain constant during the change of phase. Heat is continuously, the substance is continuously absorbing heat, right, Aditya? But what is happening? There is no change in temperature. The change in temperature remains constant during the change of phase. After the phase has changed, then the temperature will start rising. Heat is continuously absorbed. There is a change in heat. There is nothing like change in heat remains constant. The change in temperature remains constant. Yes. Okay. Heating curve is followed. Please practice today itself. Just open your book. There are heating curves given. In the solved example, very good questions on heating curves are there. Please do the solved example. Very, very nice questions. You try to solve it on your own. Okay. Let's proceed further now. Okay, so now when we were talking of latent heat, so let us come to latent heat, right? So what is latent heat? The heat energy absorbed or liberated, okay, in the change of phase, okay, which is not exactly visible. You cannot see it by the rise or the fall in the temperature. That is called latent heat. Now, just like you have latent heat, see here we are talking of the heat absorbed or liberated by any mass of the substance. We are talking of any mass of the substance. But when I talk of specific mass, just like you had heat capacity and specific heat capacity. So when I'm talking of a specific unit mass of the substance, then I call it as specific latent heat of fusion for a particular substance. So specific latent heat for a phase is the quantity of heat energy absorbed or liberated by a unit mass. You are talking of unit mass for the change in the phase at constant temperature, right? So just like you have specific heat, which is constant for various subjects, you will have specific latent heat of fusion, which will be constant. For ice, it will be different. For copper, it will be different. For some other substance, it will be different. So specific latent heat will be specific to that substance only. When you solve the examples, you will be given the value of specific latent heat, which you will have to use. So if you are doing a numerical on copper, they will give you the specific latent heat of copper to be used. If you're doing a numerical on ice, they will give you the specific latent heat of fusion of ice. So it's only the amount of heat energy supplied divided by mass. So what will be the equation? You call it as capital L. Okay. The equation will be specific latent heat is heat supplied divided by mass Q upon M. So you can see the SI unit of energy joule, and SI unit of mass is kg. So joule per kg. So this is another unit that you have learned, the SI unit of specific latent heat. Okay, that is joule per kg. So here we are mostly concentrating on the specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Okay, so melting and freezing. So the heat energy required to melt a unit mass. Okay, unit mass means a unit mass of ice at 0 degrees Celsius to water at 0 degrees Celsius. See, it has to convert to water at 0 degrees Celsius without any change in temperature. And the next one is specific latent heat of freezing of ice. So in this case, heat is not going to be absorbed, but the energy is going to be released. Heat energy is going to be released when the ice is freezing, right? So the energy released when unit mass of water at 0 degrees freezes to ice at 0 degrees without any change in temperature. So that is the specific latent heat of freezing of ice. This much is followed about freezing, melting, and the main concept is the heating curves. Okay. Let me have a look at you all. All the videos on? Okay. Quickly, I will just call out your names. Let me see who is not there today. Today, luckily, I can see Atharva Avsare.
Ma'am.
Atharva Banage. Is Atharva Banage there?
Present, ma'am. Present.
Atharva Banage. Where are you? Yes, okay. Saili is there, Dhruv is there, Sid is there, Melissa, Ali, Ayush is there, Yash is there.
Present, ma'am.
Yes, okay. Rishabh, Mariam, Rishabh is there.
Ma'am,
Yes.
I'm right here.
Yeah. Rishabh, why your video is off? Any problem?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. I sent an email to Pooja,
Okay.
ma'am.
Mariam is there. Mariam is there. Shushti. Where is Shushti? I don't hear her, see her. Shushti. Please say yes. Shushti. There she is. Okay. Kanchan. Yeah, Kanchan.
Yes.
Narayan. Today Narayan is not there.
And ma'am.
Where is Narayan? Absent. So today Narayan is absent. Akshat is there. Aditya is there. Ammar is there. Shravani. Piyush. Piyush, where are you? Piyush, I can see. Very good. Amatullah is there. Yes. So except for Narayan, everybody is present today. Okay, fine. Okay. So this is a very good concept of the chapter, latent heat of fusion. Now, and latent heat of evaporation and the heating curve. Now we have to see what is the effect, okay, of melting on various factors. Okay, melting and boiling. The very simple thing. Okay, so let us see the effect of melting and boiling on the various factors. So we will just complete this and then I will end the lesson for you. Right. So just one more slide, one or two more slides. Pay attention. Okay, so we just saw what is this. Okay, now everyone have a look at this. Okay, right? What happens when what is the effect of melting? Right now, whenever anything melts, okay, the volume, okay, will always expand. The volume of that particular thing always expand. Only in the case of ice, okay, because you know that there is an anomalous expansion, okay, where it contracts rather than expanding, right? So this is the only exception over here, except for ice. So Dhruv, here your point comes when you're talking of volume, okay, that is the time we need to discuss the anomalous expansion of water. So all the substance, each and every substance will expand whenever it melts, except for ice, which contracts till a particular temperature, and after that it expands. Now next is pressure. Okay, what is the effect of pressure on the melting point? So whenever you are applying pressure, okay, the melting points of the substance will always increase, except for ice, where the melting point will decrease. Okay, so whenever you increase the pressure, okay, the substance will not melt easily. Okay, the melting point increases. But in case of ice, if you increase the pressure, the melting point will come down, it will melt easily. Then you come to impurities. Children, you all know that whenever there is a person who comes for selling ice creams and all, he has a box, a thermocol box, okay, and he puts ice in that, right? Now, he has got those ice creams, but you know what he does? He puts a lot of salt in the ice. What is that salt? That salt is impurity. Yeah, that salt is impurity, right? Some impurity that he's adding in it is NaCl. Salt is NaCl. So he's adding some chemical, some impurity in that particular ice. Now what happens to that? The melting point decreases. Okay, it goes down. That means instead of melting at 0 degrees, okay, Now the melting point will go still down. Ice will melt at 7 degrees or 8 degrees, whatever. Okay, the melting point decreases. So because of that, ice does not melt easily. And because it does not melt easily, all the ice creams that are kept in that particular box, they will remain nice and frozen. Okay, they will also not melt because ice is also not melting, right? So this is used, okay, this particular thing, that the melting point decreases on adding impurities, it is used in this way, right? So that the ice does not melt easily. Now, let us come to boiling. Now, when we come to boiling, as I told you that anomalous expansion of water is only between 0 to 4. Okay, there is nothing like that at 100 degrees Celsius. So there will be no exception during the boiling case. So all the liquids will expand on boiling. Whichever liquid I have, it will expand on boiling. Now, what is the effect of pressure? Now, this is very important, children, effect of pressure. See, the boiling point will increase if the pressure will increase, right? So now we are at 0 degrees, we are at the ground level, okay? We are at the 0 altitude level, that is the sea level altitude, okay? We are having high pressure, as it is, there is high pressure over here. Now, when you are boiling your potatoes and so on in the pressure cooker, what happens? Slowly, the pressure increases, okay? Because there is a lot of gas that is accumulated in the pressure cooker. So because of that, what happens? The boiling point goes high. The boiling point also increases. The boiling point becomes more than 100, it becomes 120 or so on. So the water boils at a higher temperature. Because the water boils at higher temperature, the potatoes and whatever is there, it will get cooked very easily. Okay, because the boiling point has increased. But there is one question which is asked: if you go on mountain tops, okay, it is very difficult to boil the vegetables. This is what application-based question that is asked. So the simple answer, what is the simple answer that you will give? First point you will write that at the mountain tops, the pressure is low. You all know with the increase in altitude, what happens? Pressure decreases. Yes, very good. So with the increase in altitude, the pressure decreases. So because the pressure decreases, what happens? Boiling point also decreases. So that means my vegetables will start boiling at, instead of 100 degrees, they will start boiling at 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. They start boiling because the boiling point has come down. Now, because the boiling point has come down, what will happen?
Addition
they
of
will
salt?
boil, but they will be uncooked. They will not be cooked so well. So the answer that you need to write is, when you go on the mountain top, the pressure decreases. Because the pressure decreases, the water boils at a temperature below it boils at a temperature below 100 degrees Celsius, and because of that, the vegetables remain uncooked. That's all. The two things, if you write, more than enough. Okay. And by adding impurities, children, now I'll give an example. Okay. If you by adding impurities, how boiling point increases. So if you see, let us say if you have to boil eggs. Okay. If you have seen your mother trying to boil eggs or something, then you see she will add salt, okay, in the water, right? So if the salt is added in the water, the eggs will boil better and faster. Now why? Because by adding salt, she has increased the boiling point, okay? So because of that, water will boil at a higher temperature, and because it boils at the higher temperature, whatever is being boiled will be nicely cooked, okay? So this is the main thing, how melting and boiling affects the boiling point and the melting point.